Remember The Streets 2, the sequel to like one of the most toxic games on Roblox? If you guys somehow don't know The Streets, it's basically one of, if not, the first popular hood fighting game on Roblox. There have been many other types of games like this, such as the Hood, Baddies, Fight in School, the millions of Bronx and Chicago games, and more. These games, gameplay is open and free, giving you a pretty sizable map letting you do whatever you want. You can sit around and hang out with people, explore the map, or simply fight someone because you feel like it. The Streets 1 was made by Snake World in 2016 and has continued to have updates from time to time to this day. 2 years later in 2018, Snake World decided to make The Streets 2 along with his group, Dogs Studios North. Streets 2 had more features compared to the first game. Starting off with your weapons, guns are much more attainable and you have a wide selection to choose from. Pistols, SMGs, shotguns, and rifles. Guns save in your inventory and are no longer one life if you didn't pick it up from the map somewhere else though. Guns are no longer locked behind a game pass as well. There were still game passes of course, but weren't too worth it aside from the SWAT one, which had a shield that could block bullets in front of you when holding it. A lot of the guns were ridiculously overpowered, such as the hunting rifle, a weapon that can take away 90% of your health, which can easily be finished off with another weapon like an SMG for the faster fire rate. A lot of the tryhards used to do this combo to quickly take down people. Melee weapons were still one life, but if you bought the pipe from the first game, it could transfer over to second, if I recall correctly. Moving on, vehicles were also able to be owned and you were able to customize your colors. There are trucks, vans, sports cars, sedans, and bikes to choose from. Vehicles were able to be shot at and explode, causing damage and ragdolling any players around the radius of it. In the first game, there were some sedans I could drive, but I feel like I haven't seen them around. I feel like most of the time they were somewhere flipped over in the corner and weren't able to be used. I haven't played the first game in forever, so I don't really remember too much about these things. Apartments and houses were also able to be bought and customized, but as of now, houses are no longer able to be owned. Not sure why. You could still rent an apartment for $250 a week. Not sure if it was in-game or if it was in real time, but I'm assuming it's in-game. You could also buy furniture to place around. Most players I've seen would use the top floors of the apartment buildings to their advantage, as this was perfect for you to use your furniture to get to the top of the roof. Overall, in my opinion, these changes were such a big step up compared to the first. It felt a lot more forgiving to get weapons, and I really didn't like the game passes for the first game, especially with how absurdly priced they are. The second game felt like they were optional if you really wanted some extra goods. A lot of what you want to get can be earned if you took the time to grind it out by stealing safes and getting cash. As always with grinding, it's slow and tedious, but you'll eventually get there. Unfortunately, as time passed, development would slowly dwindle away and eventually started gathering exploiters, taking advantage of the lack of updates to spread their chaos to the already dying game. Development was also cancelled in favor of continuing updating for The Streets 1. Most of the players preferred The Streets 1 because of its simplicity, larger player base, and the aesthetics of the map. The first game had more of an emphasis on the streets, feeling more grounded. With a lack of vehicles, you having to walk around everywhere felt a bit more immersive. There was a sense of scale in the first one. Walking around both maps, you can definitely feel the difference between the two. So, if you prefer a more grounded, simpler, more populated fighting game to kill some time in, play The Streets 1. If you want to explore a dead game with some more customization, you can play The Streets 2. I'll leave links to both games in the description. It's a real shame what happened to the second game because I really had some fun there. Obviously it was still incredibly toxic, but avoiding that aside, there were some good moments I had with people. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.